wanted to do it last time.
I was drunk last time. No, you.
Are you not now?
Well, not overly. I've had 2 glasses of cider, but the downstairs company is keeping me quite sober. Right. So no, you do it. You do it.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Good evening, Chris. How are you today?
Rob, what a beautiful accent that was. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening.
Good evening. It made me think of upper middle class England. People who had the finger on the pulse.
And the number of millionaires.
And the number of millionaires in England, upper middle class millionaires. Making and breaking. Unbelievable. But
Good for them.
Some people
I'm glad.
I'm glad for them. Some people call them bankers. I don't know. I don't know if that's... I don't know what that is. Anyway. Good for them. Long may they reign. The king is dead. Long live the king. How are you?
I'm good. We've had it was a beautiful day here today. Tried to get as much as I could done.
I've been cutting grass, Rob. Let me tell you. I know I've already told you, but let me reiterate the whole thing, just so in case people think something's wrong. Last night, for some reason, I was down yesterday cutting my mum's grass at the north coast. Came back up, had a wee bit of a red face, as well, redder than normal, what people would say. A bit of a red neck. Leah said after 3 glasses of wine, I had 3 glasses of wine. Let me put a wee bit of after sun on you.
Well, that was nice of her.
Very nice.
That's a caring wife.
So I went upstairs. I put the toilet seat down. I sat down in the position, and Leah produced the bottle. But then I remember being quite tiddly. Then she stopped the bottle, and I got another bottle. And I said, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Well, this is better stuff." And I thought, that is indeed love. What did she do? What did she do, Rob?
Noxzema or Nivea or aloe vera?
No.
What'd she do, Chris?
She put moisturising fake tan on me.
Oh, no!
So she said it suits me. In fairness, do you know what, Rob? I don't think it doesn't suit me. She said it makes me look less red. Now, I don't know where I'm at with it. I would never tell her that, to be honest with you. I do quite like it. I'm sporting a white t-shirt to show off the tan. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure she did it really well. It's a bit patchy. So do your best in the post if you can. But just in case everyone thinks Leah says I look like I've been on my holidays, and I had to say to her that nobody has been in their holidays, so I would look strange anyway. So there you go.
There you go.
A long-winded story about my red face. There you go.
How many stories do you have this week, Chris?
Rob, I have 3.
I got 4.
Oh, thank God for it, Rob. Remember that week?
But they're gonna go quick.
Well, me too. But remember the week you'd only 1?
But it was an important one.
It was, but we've never discussed.
And I think I might actually be following up that story tonight.
Well, Rob, what I found interesting was we never discussed why you only had 1, and we won't do it now. But at some point in the future, we'll do it. Something was up that week.
Yeah, you know what it probably was? Olivia and I were probably exercising all day that day.
You made me spit wine into me all night.
Yeah, and then I probably was rushing after the exercise session to go have a shower and freshen up.
Oh, but
before I did this.
Do you know where we are in the ranking on this? Well, you do know, because I don't know, because you're in charge of the whole thing. We're quite, I don't want to brag, we're quite high up.
I think we're in the 4 digits.
We're in the 4 digits. We're in 3 digits
worldwide.
Worldwide.
But think about that. Worldwide, we're in the 4 digits. That's pretty amazing.
If I didn't have dyslexia, I would be thanking dog right now.
And everybody out there, if you haven't checked out our last podcast in regards to our top 5 photographers, please check it out. I'll leave a link in the description, and I'll put a little link up here in the corner.
And Rob, can I say something else that's important? I need to.
Well, I was just going to say one more thing.
Oh, sorry.
The audio version of that top 5 is going live tonight.
Oh.
So that's Friday night.
Yeah.
So it'll be available later tonight, Friday night. So if anybody's listening to the podcast,
Yeah.
it'll be available today.
Because some people do like to listen and not to watch.
Yeah.
I'm a watcher.
Well, our listening is way more popular
Yeah, really?
than the video.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
Oh, off the hook. Off the hook.
Jeez. Rob.
Way more.
Hold on. There's no that story about me getting fake tanned will be lost to the listeners. We'll maybe put up a photograph.
Well, they'll just have to go to our YouTube channel.
True. And if you're on the YouTube channel, I always say subscribe, and I feel like such a whore. I feel like no, but I don't mean that.
You're a red-faced whore.
Rob, I think actually. Hold on. I think.
Oh, I'm turning red now too.
No, I think actually if I was to have a band.
That's the name of it?
That's probably what do you know I fell out with? I have a really good friend called Connor Rotherham who's a really, really fantastic DOP. And he caught me, he's always going up with my red face, and he caught me, I can't remember when it was, but he caught me at a low ebb, and I barred him off Facebook for calling me I'm a red-faced fucker, right? And then, but his name isn't Connor Rotherham on Facebook, it's like Crutherford Rotherby. And I couldn't find him, and then I couldn't find him for ages.
Have you guys kissed and made up?
Yeah, he said, you could not love Connor. He's such a good DOP. Lovely guy. Right, who's going to go first?
So my first story, the big news of this week. Okay, there's two pretty major stories. One story that's not going to affect 99% of the population of photography, and the other story is probably going to affect 50%.
Not bad odds.
Yeah, so here's the one that's probably not going to affect anybody listening.
Okay.
Olympus is gone.
I saw that.
So what has happened is Olympus, the major corporation, has sold their camera division off because it hasn't made any money in the past 3 years. 3 years.
Not a job.
3 years.
Not a bing.
Nothing. Losing money.
Why?
So they've sold it to this company called Japan Imaging Products or something.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
So they've sold them the name and they've sold them the assets, I guess. So there's still a chance that Olympus will live on. But it's just going to be owned by a different company.
How do you feel about
that? I miss the film cameras.
Yeah, but
the digital cameras. You know what though? I will say one thing. When I moved to California, the company that I worked for, their art department had an Olympus digital camera, and they shot all of their stuff at the time on like a 3 megapixel Olympus camera. And for what it was, it did a great job. But outside of that, I have no relationship whatsoever with any digital Olympus cameras.
Well, Rob, as a shareholder, I just want to say that I'm delighted by the takeover.
What?
Rob, you know I have shares in different things.
I thought it was all in Rolls-Royce.
No, I moved from Rolls-Royce whenever Rolls and Royce parted company.
Whenever BMW bought them?
I'm now very much into Bitcoin. And
I heard
which
that.
we'll have discussion about
I heard
tomorrow.
You're a tycoon.
Yeah.
A tycoon.
Well, I wouldn't want to say how much I'm worth, Rob, but I could definitely buy a few bags of crisps in about 4 years.
Count it all in one hand? Because
I don't think they have the Olympus. This is very interesting add-on, but have Olympus been bought out? You know, have they always been owned by
Olympus?
Yeah, but who is Olympus? Are you thinking this? Who are they? Who are these men? Women?
Olympus is one of those Japanese huge conglomerate companies like Mitsubishi and Toyota. Like Toyota doesn't make cars. Mitsubishi doesn't make just cars. Olympus makes all sorts of medical equipment, optical equipment, scientific equipment, and all that kind of stuff. That stuff makes them money.
You know,
like they're a lesser Leica. You know, that was my feeling towards Olympus film cameras, is that they were jewel-like. They were like precision.
Yeah.
They felt like a Japanese Leica.
No, I get you.
You know, obviously they're not a rangefinder. They're not. Yeah. You know, they were SLRs.
But well made.
But beautifully made, tiny, precision cameras.
I have a couple. They're maybe downstairs. Oh, you maybe hear Lewin crying.
Uh-oh.
Or it's not crying, it's the scream. He does the scream now. I told you about the scream before. The scream is increasing. I can't tell you how much I love him.
Yeah, gotta love them.
You gotta love them. But look, this is really interesting, Rob. I think that that Olympus thing's that's interesting. Whenever people, but
You know what it is though, Chris? It's foreshadowing.
Yeah,
it's a foreshadowing because you've got there. You have companies like Pentax, who are sort of on that cusp. Pentax, who claimed that they were never going to create a whatchamacallit, a mirrorless camera. They're sticking to DSLRs. That's a hard
that's
thing
something to
swallow.
Do you not think that? I suppose everyone's going to hear his bunkers. He is absolutely. I feel sorry for him.
My second story, I'll tell you real quick here.
Okay.
My second story that's going to deal with 50% of, well, probably a little bit more than 50% of it, all the photographers out there. Apple has ditched Intel.
I see that.
So they're going to be making their own processors for all their desktop and laptop computers.
How's that going to affect me? I don't know any of this stuff.
What's going to happen is the architecture is the same as the tablets and the cell phones.
Yeah.
So those what do they call them? AMDs, the AMD chips. That's what's in your iPhone. That's what's in your iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Those are going to be inside your computer now. So your Mac Pro.
What's that mean? Is that faster, slower, better, cheaper, dearer?
It's gonna mean that it's gonna open up all of those apps, all of those little programs that you have on your phone. You're gonna be able to run them on your desktop seamlessly, natively.
Get away.
Yeah, which is cool on its own.
But that's not.
But it's also.
Am I going to have to sell my computer and buy a new one?
But that's the thing. Once they start upgrading that operating system,
then we're in trouble.
So much stuff is going to get dropped by the wayside. So, yeah. So now, today, I don't know. Is it a good time to buy an Apple computer today, or
I hear what you're saying. I also have shares in Apple, just so you know. So I have to put you up there where I can just say that it is a great time to be. I mean,
if you could get a really sweet deal on an Apple,
yeah,
and you could run it for 2 or 3 years, with imaging software, existing imaging software, then great. Get your money out of it. You get your money out of it, after your job or whatever.
You're not going to have any problems because you can just slip in and out. You've got a fancy doodah, haven't you?
Well, I have a 2014 or 2012 Mac Pro.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the big desktop one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all kitted out and it's raring to go, and it sits in High Sierra though. So I'm not going to Catalina, and I'm not going to any.
I know you said
this. Other ones after that.
You make me nervous with that stuff. I've more crashes than Evel Knievel. You know what I'm saying?
Evel Knievel has only one record to his name.
What?
Most broken bones.
No, I thought you were going to tell me something like Bohemian Rhapsody. I thought it was actually a record. I thought you'd read some bizarre interview where he just had one record and he played it before he went out to break all the bones in his body. What's
your first story, Chris?
Can I just say, Rob, whenever I was a kid, the thing you wind up? You wind him, and you let him go, and we plastic.
Cars?
No, Evel Knievel.
Oh, yeah. On his motorcycle?
Oh, Rob, I had such fun with that. It never quite worked out the way it was on TV, but I didn't care.
He always crashed.
I was quite happy, but I did want the rocket.
He never made the jump.
But in real life, he didn't make the jump, so I suppose in fairness, there was nothing.
I think didn't he make one of the Caesar's jumps?
Did he?
At Caesar's Palace? I think he made one. Everything else, he crashed.
Do you know what? You see, if I get into Instagram, and I start getting into the realms of people jumping over things, I'm not getting any sleep.
Well, modern day stuff is, those modern day daredevils doing like Travis Pastrana and stuff.
Do you know what,
jumping
Rob?
Football fields? I saw one the other day. Guy jumped a whole football field.
Rob, we're daredevils. We're daredevils. What we're doing is daredevilish. For sure, we're daredevils. I'm a daredevil. Are you a daredevil, Rob? Let's cut our fingers.
I'll be a daredevil later tonight.
Rob, I'm glad I wasn't drinking there because I would have put wine in my eye. You can't be saucy, Rob. This is why we can't curse. And we can't be saucy.
I'll put on my little daredevil mask.
Oh, don't, Rob.
My little leotards and.
I quite like the thought of that. Leah said that you should be getting sponsored by Vidal so soon.
Dude, my hair is ridiculous.
It's awesome. There's product in it. Sure as shit, there's product in it.
There's a news story for you. They're talking. I guess they're. What do they call that when they raise the prices?
Robbery.
Yeah. Well, hairstylists in Belfast.
Oh, I know.
I know. Jacking up their rates.
Brilliant idea. I'd do the same.
Yeah.
I'd do the same. I would do the same with photography.
Who cares?
Who
was your first story?
Do you know what, Rob? I'm going to tell you now. This is quite interesting. This came about. Okay, you'll see whenever you go on to this. And I'm not speaking outside of my mouth anymore. If the people who listen to this, if we're in 4 figures or 3 figures in the art world, with the things the way they are, I'm not pretending to talk outside of my mouth anymore. We'll think about that there. So I am talking about. Now I have to be very careful here because my computer's a bit wonky. So I have to be very careful about. Now I could pronounce this wrong. Okay, Sergey Chilikov. Chilik.
Sergey.
Sergey. Did I say Sergey?
Sergey.
You said Mitsubishi or something earlier on. I didn't correct you.
Mitsubishi.
I didn't correct you. It's Mitsubishi.
Sergey.
You say tomato. I say tomato.
Sergey.
You and your
So okay, what about Sergey?
Okay, you'll be sad now that you've started messing about because he's dead. Yes, you see, now you were just Sergeying away.
He passed away. How did
cancer? June the 21st. Now that's interesting.
And who is Sergey? Sorry,
I am aware of the work, Rob. Okay, but only because I know I fell into somebody's company who told me about it. Not for any other reason. But what I found was super interesting was on Facebook. It came up right, and it is Martin Schilt, Martenschhilt. That's difficult for me to even spell. But he came up with a great thing on Facebook, and it was announcing the sadness of Sergey's death. Right now, I'm a massive fan of the work. I think the work is. I'll talk with the work in a second. But what was really interesting, I don't mean to laugh. I shouldn't laugh because it's sad. But this is how I want to be remembered, right? Last week we received a message we knew would come, but nevertheless hope not to. So he'd obviously had illness for a while. One of a kind photographer, Sergey died of cancer. We're mourning the artist who was totally unique in the world, being a man equal to the work he made, great, strange, funny, and annoying. That's what it says, right? But it gets more interesting. Oh, I want to make work around this. This is genius. All of it and all of it at the same time. So Sergey had a lot of friends and admirers. Right? Listen to this here. But he also had a lot of enemies. That's what it says. Wow. Yes.
That's very honest and frank.
It's very honest and frank, and I think that's where we need to be. None of this. He wasn't Chris a great old fella and all that nonsense. Tell it as it is. You know what I mean? I borrowed your lawnmower off you 5 years ago. I didn't give it back to you. You know what I mean? Just say it as it is. But then it goes on. Okay. Unfortunately, as his publisher and one of his strange enough few galleries. He only had a few galleries, right? But that's interesting because the work's immense. But they go on to say the reason why they think they got on because there was a 750-mile difference in being. You know what I mean?
So say that again, please. There was a what?
750 kilometre difference between the people who were looking after his work and him.
Oh, okay.
So
they didn't have to meet him.
They did. Well, they said they did, and then there's this great story about how they did meet him. And now I don't want to speak out of turn, but they said they.
So what did he shoot? Why should I know this?
Okay,
guy?
Listen. I'm going to say this right. So here we go. Born 1953. Okay, so slightly older than you. From 1980 to 1989, all I've been doing is looking this guy up because I'm fascinated by that. You know, he was annoying. I want to meet him and he's gone. Right. from 1980 to 1989, he had been running analytical exhibitions of photography and the annual open air photography at Kundish River. Right? I don't know what that's just me reading off the screen, right? Right. Despite the strict Soviet rules, right? This is where it gets interesting. He basically went around from 1989, okay, traveling across Russia. People in Russia couldn't do stuff out in the open, okay, because it was Russia, but they could do stuff indoors. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of all the stuff they couldn't do outside was kind of brought into this space. So he was going around the country photographing male nudes and female nudes, and he was kind of. We'll put links to this work, right? But the countryside glam, the beach, the gambling, the philosophy of a journey, amongst others. Okay,
that must look amazing.
Rob, like I can't.
You know what? I think I might have seen some of his stuff.
Sure.
Is he shooting 4x5 or
he
2 1/4?
Shooting. Now let me just see. I'll probably tell you now because I've looked at so much of the work. 6.6 in this one, but it's kind of just. Oh, it's very careful. My computer's a bit ropey. But it's. What have I done? I went off. I went somewhere.
Chris, do you have a good mic tonight?
Yes, Rob. I have a great mic. I have your mic.
Okay, good.
A directional mic.
Cool.
I should buy a mic, shouldn't I, Rob?
So Sergey and his casinos and glam photography. You know what? I'm pretty sure I've seen his stuff. I think it's really, really gorgeous stuff.
We talked last week about Bertine Van Manen with one of my top 5. Okay, I'm not saying it's not. It's not similar, but it's not dissimilar. Okay, the way he is interacting with his with the sitters or with the people he meets is fantastic. Some of the stuff, you look around it and you're thinking, is it staged? There's a sense on some of the things of kind of Russian cinema. If I was in Russia and I was a stills guy in the 80s, this is probably what I would want to be shooting. You know what I mean?
So what was his last name again? Sergey
Chilikov. I don't want to get that.
Okay, so we'll put a link.
I don't want to get that wrong.
For his gallery in the description.
CH, what's that in
so
Russian?
Everybody can check it out.
Yeah, listen, go and look at the work. Annoying, okay, but brilliant. Isn't that what an artist should be? And then if you start going on a wee journey...
Chris, you're an artist.
But I am annoying, Rob, sure, shit, I'm annoying. With lots of different things. But what I'm going to say is, like I always say this, right? Something happens, something pricks you, okay? And you go in, and this is what I love, okay? Weeks can go by, and you're kind of searching for stuff, searching for new stuff. Now I told you last week that I'm kind of on the precipice of trying to discover myself regarding new work. So I'm looking at all sorts of stuff that I haven't seen before that's news to me, okay? And that means I'm looking at stuff from 2009, stories about 2009 that nobody would think was news, but it's definitely news for me, okay? So I go in, this comes up on my Facebook, and it's like, oh, holy Jesus, I'm not going to sleep for a week. I'm just going to be, so I'm sitting there, I'm pretending I'm sending emails, right? I'm pretending I'm working with Leigh, and she's like, can you not do, and I'm like, oh no, I'm sending emails out to people. I'm not. All I'm doing is I'm just literally stalking this guy, this dead guy. I'm just finding out as much as I can about him. So there's loads of stuff. The Rock magazine, right. I'll send links, okay? I'll send links.
Good, perfect. What's your next story?
I went too long there. Okay, next story is photo provocations by Russian Sergey Chilikov. The work is just Rob. You have to see it. It's incredible.
I will.
Okay. So next one. Okay. So I'm in that area. Okay, what do? You start looking around, don't you? You start. If I'm going to be in Russia, and I'm going to start maybe looking at Ukraine. I'm going to start looking around places that I'm not overly familiar with. You know what I mean? Now, the good thing about we do stuff with BJP every week, and we do stuff with Brad, and of course these stuff, and it takes us away. It takes us on journeys to places we wouldn't just fall upon. Okay, so I am now looking at Valeria Cherchi, Cherchi. Cherchi. Do you know what? People probably listen just so they can laugh at our pronunciations, but that's good enough. I don't care. Right, and it's a new book, and this is called "Some of You Killed Lucia." Okay.
So is this on BJP?
Nope. This is me going through various different links.
on your Russian rabbit hole.
This is and it literally was. But I mean, now people know, this Valerie isn't unknown. Whenever you go in, she's really well known. She's really well respected artist. But anyway, we come across stuff. So this is really good because she's obsessed, I think, by the phenomenon of kidnapping in the island of Sardinia. 1960s and 1990s, and there's one particular incident where
1960s and 1990s.
It says here between the 1960s and the 1990s, almost 200.
Oh, okay, so 30 years, not just those specific decades.
No. So 200 people were kidnapped between 1960 and 1990 and held for ransom. Okay, so her photo book is invested in this. She talks about this young guy called Farouk Kassim, okay, and it's about him being kidnapped and being his ear being mutilated, and I think a priest found it, from what I can gather. Then you're into something really interesting. Yeah, I mean, you close the door on Sergey. Sergey, you're so fancy, Rob. And then you open this door and you're like, bloody hell, right? But the work is equally. Right. The work is equally. I'm going to buy the book. It's 25 euros. It's 125 by 200 millimeters. Soft cover.
Do it for the book report next week.
I said I'm going to buy it. I have no money, Rob. What am I going to do? Will you lend me 25 euros?
Hey, that's the other thing. Did you see the message I sent you about AB Books?
No. Oh, I did.
So I've got a new favorite book company, and I linked them last time in our last book report, and I'll link them again in the description below. But anyways, we've got a new favorite book company, and it's not AB Books, and it's not Amazon. So what's your next story, Chris? You're on a roll. Well, we're at 27 minutes.
Oh, we are. Okay, I'll be really quick. Okay. So then I start going a wee bit, not sideways, but anyway, I'm in the Gut magazine, okay, and I think Gut magazine, I've been on it before, it's interesting and everything else. Then I come across Victor and Sergey Kochetov, K-O-C, it doesn't matter how it's spelled, I'll put a link down, just mock me if you will, father and son, and they work as a collaborative artistic duo, and this is to do with hand-coloured prints. It is beautiful. No, I'm saying
like vintage stuff or current?
Current, and I have to say that the stuff is it's not it's not blissfully retouched at all. It's kind of sweeping brushstrokes. It's very very what would the word
artistic?
Be? Yeah,
painterly.
Painterly, but also just beautiful. It's kind of weird. It's kind of
cool.
It's kind of dreamy. It's a wee bit trippy. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. What do you think of that? Okay, but then I'll say one more thing. Then if you go in, then you have to go and see the Kharkov School of Photography, from Soviet censorship to new aesthetics. Okay, I'll put a link to that there. And can you imagine? It is I've had a dream the last couple of days. God rest our good friend Chilikov. He sent me, if all he did...
Are we going to Russia, Chris, next year?
I have friends in Russia. I have a really, really, really fancy friend in Russia who's a multi-millionaire.
Does he have a couch for us?
We can't talk about it in front of Leah. I'm sure she'd have an apartment block for us in a minute. She rang me once from Italy.
Okay.
That's a different...
We'll do this. Yeah, we'll talk about this one later.
Should have said too much.
So I got a story for you.
Go.
So remember we talked about Mashable a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
About the copyright thing where they tried negotiating. Oh, geez, we're done.
No, we're not.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. We're going to have to save that for next time.
No.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Chris.
Bye, Rob.
We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye. Rob, that was... You know what?
Kaboom. Kaboom. Kaboom.